Okay, guys, welcome back to the second stream of the day and a big one as well. We do have NFP on the horizon, so we're going to see what happens with that together. Again, any markets you want me to take a look at whilst we're going through the news, drop it down in the chat, and of course, we'll discuss, see what's happening with those markets. If you are enjoying the content, by the way, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Keeps you up to date with the channel. Make sure you don't miss any streams or uploads in the future. And it really does help out as well. But of course, we were live earlier this morning. And again, the overall price action with the dollar is just very, very choppy. So I'm very neutral. In fact, I'm eager for the NFP to cause some ruckus, some damage, because I want the market to be trending. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking what's happening with the yen pairs or the CHF pairs. But I want to see some momentum and some direction. I do have somewhat of a bearish bias for dollar. So what I would be looking for would be something like this, a strong move down, breaking through some lows. And then maybe next week we're looking at some pullbacks to continue that momentum. So that'd be ideally what I want to see. But yeah, it's a big if. And if we see some bullish momentum, great, but we should come back inside a bigger range. So it just makes things a bit awkward. But we shall see what is up, FX Wolf. Okay, we'll take a look at dollar yen. Okay, looking at NFP for dollar yen. Of course, USD and the USD currency pair, so that will be affected. Yeah, it will be affected. I do like dollar yen to the upside in terms of some shorter term buys, taking advantage of that retracement. But it's always just a big risk, especially with NFP in 10 minutes. Is it worth taking? It's up to the individual trader if it is or not. Gold, yes, we'll go through gold as well. That's going to be a very interesting one going into NFP. It's going to be a buy, but let's watch and see. Okay, so you're going to watch on the sidelines as well. Again, smart decision to wait on the sideline, especially in a time like this. No need to try and force it. There's always going to be a trade around the corner. Of course, NFP does provide a lot of momentum, and then you kind of have that fear of missing out. I wish I was in the trade, and I would have made 50 or 100 pips in less than an hour, or whatever the move will be. But trading is not fast money. It's definitely slow money. So waiting on the sidelines at a time like this, makes a whole lot of sense. But yeah, dollar yen, I would expect to bounce. I've touched on this one earlier, but essentially we are coming to some interesting areas in the weekly. I do think it's time for a bit of retracement. The market's a bit stretched as well, and we are coming into some big areas on the weekly chart, which makes a lot of sense to see a bounce. Now, I think yen will be very important as well. Of course, dollar with NFP will have its say, but I think yen is the governing force here. Because if the rest of the yen pairs are falling, so will dollar yen too. Maybe at a slower pace, or maybe at a slower pace. But generally speaking, yen is going to be the governing factor. So if NFP is bullish for dollar, we do see a push higher. Great, but how long will it last? That's the bigger question. But yeah, it's in a nice area. We're respecting these areas, putting in some higher lows. We're in another area where, again, we could put another higher low in. If successful, we could really see a lot of upside from here. So the buys look good in terms of the location. Maybe the price action, not so much just yet, but things can change pretty quickly. Not really seeing much momentum just yet, but I feel like everything's just going to be a bit slow anyway until NFP comes out in a few minutes. So yeah, with gold, it's been pretty bullish. Again, the idea is to look for some retracement. I highlighted this area here earlier on because it does look like the gold is probably destined to come back and test that high and probably break through it as well. So if we can get a correction, something like this, that would be nice. A retest and a continuation. Yesterday I was talking about the retest of this area, but price was just a little bit too bullish. So I will keep an eye on this area as the next best area. But essentially, again, we've had a big breaking through the structure here on the left, higher high, looking for a higher low for continuation. And given the circumstance that on the higher time frames, the monthly chart, the weekly chart, the daily chart, we're still seeing strength for gold. There's just a very good chance we continue that back to the high and possibly some new highs at 2,500 as well, which is just above us over here. So yeah, so what would be nice for NFP would be a move down, really. Although the bias is bullish, you'd kind of want to move down for retracement purposes, and looking for a higher low. Unless you're already in gold buys, and of course, you want that to push. Pound NZD, we'll take a look. Richie, NZD CAD, Captain, we'll take a look. No problem. What's up, Anis? Good morning. Well, it's actually afternoon now, actually. But I hope you're well. Looking to sell gold after NFP. Yeah, I mean, once NFP price is in, we can see how we're going to react. But it's up to the governing forces today to see what happens with gold. It's in an area where I expect retracement, but I'm still pretty bullish. So I would look for gold to push up back to the high. Not really interested in the sells, but of course, at this area here, we are starting to reject. So maybe we do see some downside. And actually, I hope we do, because I want to buy it from 24.30. So I hope it does retrace, for your sake and for mine. But in terms of pound NZD, where is pound NZD? There we are. So yeah, pound NZD, I was talking about some buys earlier on around this area here as well. Possibly could find some support in that area, 2.125, and some buys there, because we had such an aggressive move higher, but now we're seeing a pretty aggressive move back down again. So it's made things a little bit awkward. It's not like prices slowly move down. So I do think there is a lot more downside in the tank for pound NZD, but in the meantime, it's probably your best bet is looking for some longs, and then maybe longer term we do eventually sell off. But for now, 2.12 looks good. So I would say be patient with pound NZD. Of course, we've got the news coming up. Maybe that could give us a nice little nudge to the downside, and then we can start reassessing price probably at this point next week, for bullish opportunities. But I'm looking for a balance. I still think the bigger move is down. So if you do push up, great. I think we'll eventually just sell off. But this move here could still be meaningful. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with pound NZD. What is up? Vanesto, Banda, welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope you are doing good as well. Good afternoon, Rick. Welcome to the stream. John, blessings right back at you. So yeah, we've got NFP in about 4-ish minutes. So I'm going to start putting some more screens up on the chart so we can all see what happens together. I mean, the past 2 NFPs I've done, they've been very, very anticlimactic. Not a lot of movement, unfortunately. So hopefully we pick up some pace this one, third time lucky. And yeah, even Bank of England yesterday wasn't anything spectacular either. So I'm kind of hoping maybe today we get some movement, for entertainment purposes and trading as well. So yeah, we've got about three odd minutes. So I'll get gold up. How many should I do? 4 or 6? I think 6 is a bit too much. I think 4 is kind of a sensible number. So we get some big boys. We get gold going. We always flick through the charts anyway, so we will take a look after the news and see what the damage is. We'll drop to the 15 as well. So that's gold on the 15. We'll get Euro USD on the 15. We'll get pound over there on the 15, and maybe dollar yen as well. I mean, you'd like maybe a DXY too, but that means I probably have to add a couple more screens. Dollar yen or DXY, I'll go dollar yen. We'll always take a look at the charts after the news come out anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. Just want to see the initial damage. But yeah, I'm not in any positions right now, so there is no skin in the game at all. So whether this is bullish or bearish for dollar, no skin off my back. Like I said, I'm anticipating bearishness, but yeah, I'm not looking to trade that. There's no kind of opportunity for me anyway. But yeah, with this amount of distance we've got until the news, distance is the wrong word. Yeah, it's best to probably just, if you're in positions, do what you need to do. If you're not in positions, hold back. I would say give at least 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes after the news has happened, and then you can readjust and see what's happening. Because sometimes we can whip back and forth for the first 5, and then maybe price picks a direction afterwards. So waiting for 15 minutes or half an hour, when the hourly and the 4-hour candle closes at 2 p.m., that's a nice little time to reassess things. So you've got the 4-hour closure, you've got the hourly closure, 30-minute, 15-minute. The news has probably settled a little bit by then as well. So that's a good time to assess things. But going into the news, gold is falling a little bit. Euro USD is pushing up a little bit. Dollar yen's, that's the daily. It's the 15. Dollar yen just a bit sideways, and pounds looking a little bit bullish. So yeah, basically a bit of a mixture of things. But anyway, we've got a few seconds left. Let us see what happens. Oh my word, that is a big push. Straight out the chart. Okay, maybe it's not that big of a push, but we'll wait for candles to close. But immediately, it looks like we are seeing dollar weakness, with gold pushing up, pound pushing up, euro and dollar yen falling. Yeah, that is dollar weakness. So it looks like my anticipations were correct. But again, like I said, it wasn't anything concrete. It was just my instincts. Just my instincts of what I was feeling like the market would do based on the price action before. But there was no trade to take anyway, and I wouldn't take a trade just before anyway. But yeah, immediately we are looking pretty bullish. We are looking pretty bullish here on the dollar pairs, but weak for dollar. But yeah, dollar yen is pushing hard down. So yeah, people with stop losses underneath that low, definitely taken out. Definitely taken out. And again, sometimes we do these moves just to fake people out and then push up higher. Some people do really like fading the news releases. So we've got to push up. People are looking to put short positions. Not my type of trade, but some people do it very well. You got to be disciplined and very, very cautious, because if you do that incorrectly, you will definitely burn yourself. But yeah, we're definitely seeing a big push up. Let me scale to the higher time frames at the hourly. So it's nothing crazy. I mean, if you wouldn't know those news, you wouldn't really expect too much. It's not like we're absolutely flying. How many pips is this? I mean, from the start of the candle to the high, it was like 70. What? Oh, okay, that's gold. I was reading it wrong. I thought it was a Euro USD. I was about to say, is that 17 pips? So yeah, 34 pips down Euro. Let me go to the hourly chart. Actually, let me just get big. So Euro, okay, nah, I stand okay. Gold looks a bit anticlimactic, but Euro, that's a decent move. That's a decent move. So yeah, it looks like we are pushing pretty strong. So maybe that is just that correction coming to an end, and now we're going to see that conviction to the upside and swing back to the highs, as we've been talking about on the daily chart. Push, pull back, push, pull back, possibly another push. So again, I'll wait for candles to close. We could pull back, could leave wicks. Don't want to jump in too early, but the idea from earlier this morning I was discussing would be a break of the high, then looking for the higher low to form, and then the continuation back to the high. So that could be a really nice trade for next week. Of course, it would take some time to develop, but that could be a nice opportunity. How's DXY looking? Okay, strong move right back into the low. So the key thing with dollar now is let's sustain this momentum, not kind of mess around and hop back and forth. Let's try and continue falling, please. So yeah, if we can continue this, take out this low this week, that'll be great. Nice little weekly candle closure to the downside there. Then yeah, we can probably expect the doors, the floodgates to open up. Lovely low over there. That could be the next major target on the weekly chart, around 102,500. And if that's the case, looking at pullbacks next week, or at least I'm looking at pullbacks next week to retest this low or retest this low and take some shorts. But I still need to see some conviction lower, because at the moment we're just coming back to retest the low. I need price to actually start breaking through and then I can start discussing some pullbacks. But nice momentum initially. Nice drop. Let's just keep going. Hopefully we do that. Gold, big push up there, looking pretty bullish. Silver, likewise. Dollar CHF, that was falling off a cliff. New Zealand dollar, that spiked up again. USD CAD, that's a bit like a doji. I think there's CAD news as well. So yeah, that's a bit interesting because dollar's weak, but USD CAD is leaving a massive wick to the downside. So is CAD very weak then? How the CAD pairs doing? Oh, yeah, Euro CAD's flying. Aussie CAD, not so much. Pound CAD's pushing. NZD CAD a little bit. So I don't know. Looks like CAD's a bit strong. Aussie dollar's actually bearish. Aussie dollar's actually bearish. Is Euro sustaining that momentum? To a degree, pound to not really doing a good job. So again, that's the beauty of waiting for at least 15 to 30 minutes before the candles, before reassessing things, because that momentum could pick up again. We could fill the wick and beyond, or we could pull back and leave just a massive wick. So waiting for that at least 15 minutes, but preferably waiting for that 4-hour close, that hourly close at 2 p.m. In about 25 minutes will be ideal. What's up, Pavinator? Welcome to the stream. Hope you well. Samuel, yes, I will take a look at oil. Aussie dollar is confusing you. DXY bearish, Aussie dollar bearish. Yeah, I was just as shocked as you are. It just means that the weakness of Aussie is potentially weaker than dollar. Reason behind that, 100% to do with fundamentals. I mean, Aussie's been very, very weak for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I think that's due to some business with China. I don't know if they can. Can't remember what it was, but they're lacking business with China for some reason. I think entity is the same. But yeah, the economy's not doing really well, so they're very, very weak at the moment. So if that continues, then Aussie's going to remain weak. So effectively, dollar has to be even weaker than Aussie for it to push up. And at the moment, it's not quite doing that. But at the same time, dollar might be losing its weakness. It's a nice drop. We'll see if it sustains. Euro, pretty nice push up. Pound, it was a nice push up, but again, leaving a big wick there too. So yeah, I'll just wait for candles to close and then we'll reassess things. Yeah. But yeah, definitely right. The correlation is a little bit messed up there. The correlation is messed up. Aussie's dollar's dropping and DXY is dropping too. And again, that's the beauty of correlation. It's not 100% all the time. It fluctuates. Sometimes the correlation will be very, very strong and it will be 100% or close to. And sometimes the correlation will weaken and it won't be so strong like at the moment. And that's based off fundamentals and based off different components. And sometimes it will be more like 60% the correlation. Or sometimes completely the opposite way, like right now. And particularly like Euro USD as well and pound, they've had a pretty nice push up. But look at Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. They have just left big wicks behind, and on the hourly chart, they're actually bearish at the moment. But we'll see how the candle close. Then we can reassess. In terms of the overall momentum, nothing crazy. It's a nice drop, yeah, as you expect for NFP, but it hasn't necessarily set the world alight really with this move. Yeah, hasn't really done anything crazy. But yeah, I think we're just coming into a phase maybe where NFP doesn't hold as much weight. Because again, what was it? 40 pips on Euro. Yeah, about 40 pips. It's a decent move, but nothing scary. Nothing scary. Pound's leaving the wick there. How the yen pair's doing? UJ was dropping pretty hard. Yeah, nice drop there. So it looks like that same area we were just discussing before coming to the news is looking like price is trying to break through. So it's going to be a really important weekly candle closure this week to see how the yen pairs close, particularly dollar yen. But yeah, we were just discussing how this could be a nice place where the market bounces. But yeah, it's looking pretty bearish right now and breaking through. You could still pull back. We've still got a good 8 hours, 8 odd hours before the candle does close. So maybe it leaves behind the wick. Yeah, maybe it does leave behind the wick, but at the moment looking pretty bearish. So might see that continue next week as well. But looking across the board for the, I mean, look at that for Aussie yen. That's aggressive price action. New Zealand yen likewise as well. CAD yen likewise. Look at that move. It's like we've done all of that for nothing. Really aggressive. So yeah, I mean, in terms of my watch list going to next week, I did recap it at the end of the last stream, but it is basically made up of yen and CHF pairs, and it will probably remain so. In terms of oil, wow, oil's looking pretty bearish. I did say we're coming into a nice area for a buy in oil. You can see with oil kind of just squeezing between these trend lines. So we got higher low, higher low, higher low. And then we got lower high, lower high, lower high. So I'm waiting for oil to make its move to basically break out all of this mess. In the meantime, we're kind of just rebounding between support and resistance, which are the trend lines. At the moment, we're coming back into the lower end of the trend line. So this is now bullish territory. So you can be looking at buys back at this low here. Just waiting to see price actually reject that before looking for any entry signals, because of course we might not. We could break through and maybe break through the trend line as well. Maybe this is the breakout. So we need to see evidence of the market stalling, of the market rejecting, putting in a higher low and looking like it's about to push to the upside. At the moment, it's just being very bearish right now. I think because CAD's pretty weak as well. I mean, I think CAD is weak because of oil being weak too. But yeah, oil in a nice area for a buy. Need to see some evidence of us slowing down. Not seeing that just yet. So keep an eye. It's a nice place for a buy on that double bottom. And yeah, possibly might catch a nice reaction, push it back into this area, and then we'll see what happens from then on. Hey, what is up? More welcome back to the stream. Hope you're well. No, I was not looking to jump in just before the news. Especially with spread widening and all of that jazz. Again, I'm not really looking at dollar at the moment either. So a lot of my opportunities are on this on the yen or the CHF pairs, and all of them kind of require pullbacks. So yeah, there is nothing for me at the moment. All these yen pairs still moving pretty hard. I'm looking for them to have a bit of a breather, pull back up, and then short. Dollar pairs, I'm not interested. Pound, no. Euro maybe if it does break out and then get that pullback, but that's for next week anyway. Aussie dollar, I'm not really interested in. Dollar CAD neither. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much in the dollar pairs yet. And then CHF has just been bearish at the moment. Okay, so we'll take a look. Okay, I forgot about NZD-CAD, didn't I? We'll take a look at NZD-CAD. What's up, Kanan from India? Wicked. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Got a golden ticket. What do you mean by that? Talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, I mean, same here, more same here as well. It's always interesting to see the moves, especially a big market, a big move in the market. You know, as a trader, that is always interesting, especially unexpected moves. It's always nice to see. Gets the blood going. So yeah, in terms of NZD CAD, we're in a nice place for a short. We're in a nice place for a short. Ooh, and I like that actually. Was that NFP? That wick there? I would imagine so. Yeah, I like that. I'll wait to see how this candle closes, but if it does close like that, I think that's a really nice rejection and a signal to short. Because again, the idea is looking to try and catch the next lower high. Is there trend line confluence there too? Yeah, just about more or less at that area. But more importantly, we're coming back to respect that area now. We may potentially melt. We may move halfway and then push up. But in terms of a solid area for an entry, especially with that big wick, knowing that, okay, everyone who was short previously just be liquidated. If we can close with some conviction to the downside, that to me would be a nice entry signal. Still got about 14 minutes left, so who knows, it might even flip bullish again. But if you can close with some conviction to the downside, I do like NZD CAD to the downside. And it's at a nice area there as well. It's at a nice area. Although it's a little bit V-shapey for me. But I like how price is moving, especially at that level. So yeah, NZD CAD, I'll be looking at downside, wait for that candle to close because it's still dancing around. The news is still pretty raw. 50-minute candle close, nice candle, but waiting for the hourly and waiting for that extra 14 could be vital because the market hasn't really settled yet. Pound still up and down. It was wicking all the way here. Now it's looking a little bit bullish. Euro's looking very strong again. Looks like momentum is starting to sustain and hold. DXY, that's looking bearish again as well. So it's like things are still jumping around, but generally speaking, dollar is weak, and that's providing some boost to euro. So yeah, something like that could provide some nice buys next week for it, and a swing back to the high. Is Aussie dollar flip bullish yet? No. Still bearish. Yeah, that just means Aussie's just so weak, which will mean that Euro Aussie would be pushing up pretty hard. Yes, it is. Back to that high there. So yeah, again, it's difficult with this one because we're just pushing to the upside so strongly. Now we're back at resistance. Would you look to sell that? No, because you can see the characteristics have changed. The market has been so corrective, the way it's moving, down, up, down, up. Now we're seeing this momentum here. Characteristics have changed. This is probably price getting ready for a bigger move higher. So pullbacks look good. I was suggesting this area here yesterday as a nice place for a long. Just didn't see enough energy for us to get back there. Yeah. Now it's looking very, very bullish. Gold just blasted to the upside. Yeah. Looking pretty, I mean, it's really close to the all-time high now. It's probably going to take it before the end of the day, to be honest. If dollar keeps up that weakness, probably will take it. More, which universe you living in, mate? The news has already happened. It happened about 18 minutes ago. You're in a swing trade. What trade you in? So yeah, dollar is definitely committed to the downside. Now let's just keep that momentum going for the rest of the day. And then my idea of the pullbacks, retest these lows, makes a whole lot of sense. And this level here makes a whole lot of sense for us to probably make our way towards. And that could help out with, how's pound looking? Pound still got, I don't know, pound still got a lot of work to do to convince me for buys. This area still scares me. That still looks like a real possibility. If pound just pound gives us like a big V-shape reversal, something like this, a strong move higher up like that, that will tell me, okay, this down move was probably just a big fake out. And then the market's now getting ready to correct and continue. And then, yeah, pullbacks after that look good. Similar opportunity to Euro. Nice. Oh my, wow, Euro's really pushing. Okay, maybe I spoke too early. I said the news wasn't really anything special, but I don't know. That is a really nice candle, I must say. About 10 minutes till it closes, and yeah, it is looking pretty good. I can't complain, I must say. DXY, yeah, I can't complain. It's a nice move. It's a very nice move. Yen pairs, what we saying? Not much for the yen pairs. Just generally looking bearish. CHF, same kind of thing there as well. Cross pairs, just a bit weird. EuroCAD flying, but yeah, Euro looking strong. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Now, of course, I mean, at the end of the day, it's what people are going to be comfortable with, because there will, of course, be people who just will blindly follow anything and take trades because they're looking for a quick win, which may work in the short term, but you know, at the end of the day, you want to make sure you adopt that skill set yourself and learn it yourself. So it's always best to learn how to trade yourself. Sure, it's going to take some time, some blood, sweat, and tears, but you wouldn't have it any other way. So, Prof, which market are you trading? You trading Euro Yen? But yeah, Euro is looking strong as ever. Pound's starting to gain some strength as well. It's a nice move, I must admit. How's NZD and Aussie? Okay, they're flipping bullish now. Okay, there's just a clear difference between Euro and Aussie in terms of the strength. But yeah, it's starting to push. I think dollar's just putting in some groundwork now. So yeah, if we can close anything around here for the week, then yeah, the bias next week is clearly bearish. Again, I'm still trying to take it week by week, day by day with dollar. I'm not trying to force too long of a bias or anything, because things can change quickly in this climate. But generally speaking, we're going to get probably a nice weekly candle closure. Looks something like this. We've still got a few hours left, but we'll probably close something like that. And yeah, the next big area would be down here. So 102,500 will be my next target for dollar. And looking at it from a 4-hour perspective, we've got a nice high over there, a nice low, nice high, new low, and then we're looking at a pullback to continue that. So straightforward stuff. And of course, Euro will be doing the opposite. Push, pullback next week at some point, and then upside. Okay, USD CAD's rejecting now, looking bearish. So yeah, definitely bearish weakness. Dollar weakness we're seeing across the board. Gold pushing up, not as strong as the other ones, but it's making its move, and it's probably going to take out that high anyway. So yeah, and silver's trying to. So yeah, maybe I might add Euro USD, and maybe depending how pound looks, maybe pound USD next week to the watch list, something like this could then be a nice buy in the retest, and then Euro over there. I still really like the M pairs because they're still showing a lot of momentum. Same with the CHF pairs as well. But maybe I'll look at Euro and pound next week. Aussie dollar I still don't like, unless something crazy happens. And New Zealand dollar I still don't like. USD CAD I don't like. Dollar CHF's kind of fallen a little bit too hard, so I think that ship has sailed. Gold, that's about to take an all-time high, so I don't really like that one. Silver, maybe if that develops, that could be a nice buy. But yeah, Euro and pound might look good next week. Okay, I'll touch on Euro CAD. Okay, Euro Yen, put on 159.800. Assume that was a sell. No, that would be a buy. Oh, was that your take profit, 59.800? Okay, it makes sense. But yeah, this one's still been falling pretty aggressively. I'm just going to wait for a bigger pullback. Okay, so let me quickly touch on Euro CAD and Pound CAD. Yeah, crazy momentum. I was discussing some sells just before the last stream ended around here, but there was no rejection there anywhere, really. So it would have been an aggressive sell. But if the market started to throw some rejection here, maybe a nice bearish engulfing, that could have been a nice trade at that high. But of course, the market didn't want to do that and just gave us a really strong move to the upside. Is it breaking through? Nope. It's just coming back into this level now. So again, EuroCAD being very bullish. It's difficult because this, again, is a nice place for a short, but we need to wait for development before shorting. Otherwise, the market can just break through this level here as well. So the idea is, let's see some rejection. Let's see the market stalling at this area, and then we can find some downside, possibly at least back to this area for a retest, and then we can go again, and maybe the price, flies to the upside from then on. But yeah, you need to see some evidence of price stalling because right now it is rocketing. Pound CAD looking pretty bullish. I was discussing a breaking retest of this area here yesterday. There was a brief one on the lower time frames over there, and a nice move down. We're back at it again. So I was still keeping an eye out for the sells. Did we retest the high? No, we just missed it. That's what I was looking for Pound CAD to get into. So it's still in a nice place for a short. Price action is a bit hefty, so we need to see some wicks, some rejection creeping in for Pound CAD if the short is going to develop. If not, we might just fly. But I still like Pound CAD to the downside. But yeah, not if it looks that bullish. You need to see some evidence of the market stalling. Okay, I will take a look at Aussie dollar. Okay, don't like to waste the I prefer to lose a few percentage instead of watching it. And I was right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Makes sense. There will be trades that you miss if you're looking for a pullback. So I understand that. But I like to get it, take my trades after pullbacks because I know that I will have a better stop loss placement. And I can get a tighter stop loss and maximize my risk to reward. But there are times, of course, where you don't see a pullback or you don't see the pullback enough, and then it does go without you. So that is a con. That is a con of waiting for pullbacks. But again, with trading, there's always cons and pros and positives and negatives. You just have to choose the blend you want. Pullbacks are great. You have to be patient to wait for them. And sometimes they don't always happen. Sometimes they don't happen enough. But the best thing about it is that if you catch it right, you can maximize your risk reward for tighter stop loss and hopefully catch that swing. Anyway, so Aussie dollar. So yeah, Aussie dollar, I'm looking for some upside, but again, it's for some downside later on. So I've talked about this low here. I've talked about this low here as well. I want to see price push on for a pullback down or at this area here as well, because we've seen some really nice moves the past couple of weeks. I want to see us push up. We can discuss 0.657, 0.662 as some areas to short from, and hopefully a push back to the low. So yeah, that is the plan I have for Aussie dollar. I think in here it's just kind of very corrective. I think Aussie just so weak still. Needs to find some strength for somewhere, but we're likely going to continue low anyway. And Aussie CAD as well, same thing. Looking for a bigger retracement. Don't have a clear-cut level. I mean, that's not a bad high, but I would expect a bigger retracement than that. Take out the high somewhere and then push down. So it might be a shorter term sell there for price to eventually break higher. But again, due to the fact that price is still so corrective, there's a good chance we get there, see a reaction, and then maybe push on. So that might still be worth trading at that high. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the second stream. I will be live again next week. We've got some 4-hour candle closures. Yeah, there's some nice momentum there for euro, nice momentum there for pound. It needs to be a lot more for me to be looking for buys, but euro looks good. Yen pair still pretty bearish, so pullbacks on them. CHF, same thing there as well. And DXY still another 2 hours before it closes, but it's looking pretty good. Momentum looks like it's here to stay. In gold, yeah, pretty strong close there as well. So yeah, guys, that kind of brings us to the end of the stream. I will be live again next week, as always, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. as always. Just doing a little extra special stream for the NFP fanatics out there, and it hasn't disappointed, to be fair. So I'm glad we saw some momentum today. Anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. I will be posting my analysis on the weekend, so if you are looking for some analysis, bit of guidance, or another opinion going into next week, check out that video. It will be on the channel. Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss any streams or uploads next week. Check out the Discord channel, linked at the top of the chat. But otherwise, guys, have a fantastic day, fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you all in the next one.